Well, damn.
What's up?
We're
in the same place.
Yeah, we're in the same spot, evidenced by the fact that we can't really get the frame right, and there's also a dog. Go away, you. If you're ever going to only listen to an episode and not utilize the YouTube potential of our show, this would be the one.
Yeah, there's multiple reasons.
We can't figure out the framing. This is the best I've been able to get it. It's not good. There's not enough space between us.
Why else?
Well, we're not completely sober-ish.
We were hammered 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, we've sobered up enough.
Yeah.
We almost canceled the show.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, we sent a message that we were canceling the show.
By the way, everyone, God bless the Theditor.
Chris Theditor.
Yeah.
The Theditor is the second Jeebus of the night, only behind somebody else I'm going to have a soliloquy for this evening. Welcome to the immediate first round reaction special of the 2023 NFL Draft. Objectively Wrong, presented by the Next Men Up. As always, I'm John. That's Ibteen. Woo! One of us is drunker than the other, and it's not the one without the dog. We're going to talk pick by pick tonight, and we're not going to deep dive into all the stuff. We'll do some winners and losers type things, but oh my God, this dog. But it's because Ibteen's eating. This is kind of a gorilla style episode. So, winners, losers, instant reaction to picks. I guess quick thought grades.
I think we're gonna go each individual pick, and we'll give a grade for that.
We'll talk about that, and there were many trades.
Oh yeah,
many. A couple that were just one pick.
The trades are the reason we're hammered.
Yeah, one pick used to be rare. Now it's just commonplace. There was a run of 4 wide receivers at one point. You can see I have my Stoutland University shirt repping, hoping that we would take an offensive lineman. We didn't, but golly, am I happy we didn't. And
just a word of warning for anyone who's doing a draft party. Don't do shots for trades.
Yeah, that was I didn't follow all of that because of a stomach issue I have, but I didn't not drink.
I followed it to an excessive manner.
Ibteen,
we'll get to it.
Drank more than just once a trade.
Yeah.
So
let's start, huh?
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL. By the way, mock draft, throw it away.
No,
throw it away.
Oh, yeah.
Completely throw it away.
Thank you for
I think we got 2.
Honestly, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it was fine. With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Oh, actually, before we go into that.
Okay.
A weird trade happened right before the draft started, and it had nothing to do with the first round at all. But the Eagles and Cardinals settled a tampering dispute investigation involving Jonathan Gannon. First of all, if you have to tamper for Jonathan Gannon, you're the problem. However, the settlement was that the Eagles moved from pick 94 to 66, and it cost them a future 5, a next year 5. Now, the Eagles have a lot of next year capital with comp picks. I think in totality, they had a projected
12, right?
With 12 or 13. It was projected
12 or 13.
Something along that lines. It's something along those lines. We had 5 comps coming up. The Eagles made 2 moves tonight, and it did cost them future capital and nothing else. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about what the Eagles can possibly do when we get to the end of the draft.
Absolutely.
Because I think it's worth mentioning. By the way, the Niners didn't make a pick.
Rams, no picks.
The Rams didn't make a pick. Rammers.
Dolphins, no
Dolphins
picks.
For tampering.
Thanks, Tom Brady.
So obviously you guys are losers.
Yeah, you guys lost.
Yeah.
Because this was one of the most fun drafts ever. This was so goddamn fun. I don't even have a timer on because I have to have Twitter up in order to do this shit
tonight. No.
There's no timer. No. This episode's just as long as it is. Deal with it.
Let's start, shall we?
With the first pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Carolina Panthers select Bryce Young.
I was so disappointed when I heard this name.
Yeah, everybody knew it.
Yeah, if you listen to our prediction mock, we were really feeling the possibility of like a Baker Mayfield situation.
Where Anthony Richardson was going to go number one.
He didn't.
No, it would have been funny.
Yeah,
Although
it would have made my night
But I'll tell you something.
so much better.
But now at the end of the round, seeing what the Eagles have done, I'm very happy this happened. Because if it had been Anthony Richardson, all hell would have broken loose in a very different way. And I'm glad it didn't.
Let's talk about Bryce Young. How do we feel about the fit?
This is an A plus.
Yeah.
It's an A only because it's an A and not an A plus only because of the trade.
Yeah.
This deal is going to be stigmatized because of the trade. And that's fine. Every quarterback that gets taken via a massive blockbuster, draft trade, that's what happens. But you just gotta wait and wait and wait. I think Bryce Young we both had him as the number one quarterback in this draft.
Oh, yeah.
So did everybody, it seems. Bryce Young went number one. He should have gone number one. Hey.
Yeah. The only problem with Bryce Young is a possibility with size, and you worry about whether or not he can survive in the NFL. I'm personally not worried.
No.
Yeah. This is an A plus for me. Love the player. Love the fit. Frank Reich gets his quarterback. Watch out for Carolina.
Yeah, pay attention because that division is hardly good.
Now let's talk about the heartbreak that belongs to Houston.
With the second pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans selected C.J. Stroud.
Now, how many shots did I take after this?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah.
I poured you an extra one because of it. And Teen has wanted C.J. Stroud in black and silver for 2 years.
Silver and black, please.
Whatever.
For
Your primary color is black.
Yeah, for 2 years.
It's right there.
True.
The Raiders logo's on the wall. You people can't see it, but it's over there.
Now, we didn't expect this pick, and it didn't really seem like it was happening until like an hour before the draft.
No, the Vegas odds shifted like 90 minutes before the draft from like plus 500 to minus 1,600, like that.
I thought it was a trade because it shifted.
It smelled like a trade.
Yeah. Houston Texans take C.J. Stroud. I personally did not like any quarterback for the Texans in particular.
The dog is attacking me.
The dog is attacking you. Because what does the Texans have? What do the Texans have? They have Laramie Tunsil and Dameon Pierce.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the end of that list.
Which quarterback's going to be successful?
None of them.
Yeah. So I don't like the fit. I love the player. I don't really know what to grade this.
I'll go A. You need a quarterback.
You go A, you need a quarterback.
You need a quarterback. You have an O-line, I guess. I don't like Laramie Tunsil. I'm on record.
But Laramie Tunsil is better than average.
Yes.
Yeah.
He just gets penalized a shitload.
Oh, yeah.
Which nobody seems to realize. But he throws like 15 flags a year. Like 10 of which for holding. Like, it's weird. But, yeah, no. They needed it. They obviously – all this talk about Tyree Wilson – we'll talk about him again. But all this talk about Tyree Wilson at the number 2 pick almost seems stupid now. And of course, it's easy to say in hindsight. Like, of course he wasn't going number 2. Of course that.
It was an excellent smoke.
Great smoke screen.
Yeah. Great.
Good work. You fooled everybody except for Daniel Jeremiah. Because with the 3rd pick, the Houston Texans came up and picked again. And took Will Anderson.
First of all, big winner of the night, Daniel Jeremiah. Congratulations.
Fat dub.
You are the king. Here is your throne. No one can compete with you.
Daniel Jeremiah is now the king of the draft. Straight up.
Now
he called this in 4K.
Yeah. Let's talk about the trade. The Houston Texans sent their number 12 pick, their 2nd round pick.
Wait, real quick.
Yeah.
The player, A.
For you, maybe.
What's your grade on the player?
B plus.
Fine. Go to the picks.
The trade. Houston Texans sent the number 12 pick.
Okay.
Normal. Their 2nd round pick, which was number 33.
Normal.
And their 1st and 3rd round picks in 2024.
What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Why Nick Casario? It's because he's going to get fired.
Yeah.
Let's just call it what it is. It's because Nick Casario is on notice. The Houston Texans, dare I say this is a D? This trade is like a D. Would you stop it?
This dog
This
is
dog
like,
is
I
killing
haven't
me.
seen you all day.
Too bad. Yeah, and now he smells the tequila. I cannot get to a point where the trade makes sense from a pick perspective. No, you were not going to get Will Anderson later. Of
Yeah.
course not.
But to be fair, as we see later in this draft, you could have gotten edge rush help by sitting at 12.
If Will Anderson turns into an all-pro,
It's a hell
we're
of a
going to
trade.
ignore this trade,
Oh, yeah. it's a
right?
hell of a pick.
Of course. The Houston Texans are obviously hedging on that.
Yeah.
Fine. Then at the moment, it's almost unfair to grade. I can sit here and say, like, value, D, because it is. But-
Let's calculate the value for
Do the
real.
calculation. Yeah.
All right.
We have the draft matrix pulled up on the second monitor, which I don't have the luxury of utilizing in my own apartment. Actually, I do. I just don't. I
So
just don't use it.
the third pick is worth 2,200.
2,200.
The 12th pick is worth 1,200. So we're already
They need to make
1,000.
1,000 points of value.
They did the 33rd pick, which is worth 580.
580. So let's round it to 600. Why not?
Okay. 400 more. What is a one next year worth?
Well, let's say, what do you want to spitball Houston Texans end up next year with?
I feel like
8?
I'm looking at their division and the competition in the AFC.
Jacksonville, Indy.
I feel like a top 10 pick is possible.
So top 10.
Yeah.
I'll say 9, 8, 9. It's irrelevant. It's roughly 1,400 points.
Yeah.
It's too much. And not to mention the third they throw in there, which is worth another about 200.
Yeah.
It's too much. There's a lot of value on this pick. The value's on the player, right?
Mhm.
Obviously, they threw the matrix by the wayside. This is clearly what it cost because I'm assuming there were other suitors. There had to have been.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it makes no sense.
Honestly, I could believe fully the third is what made the difference.
The third round pick.
Because Indianapolis picks at 4,
Yes.
and we'll talk about who they picked later. But I could see other teams offering the one next year to move up for a quarterback.
Yep.
And the third made the difference.
And by the way, good for the Cardinals because the Cardinals have so many things they have to do.
The Cardinals might be the worst team in the NFL.
It's very possible.
Yeah.
They may have the worst roster. And by the way, we have to throw this news out there. Lamar Jackson signed.
Oh,
And the reason I bring that up now is because there were rumors that pick 22 was going to be traded to Arizona in some package that would have involved Nuke Hopkins.
Mhm.
Tennessee was also maybe going to trade for Nuke Hopkins. Neither thing has happened yet.
I could still see in day 2 that happening.
For sure.
Because wide receiver, in my opinion, not that strong. A
And
lot
for-
of them went.
There was a run.
Yeah.
First time in NFL history, first time in the history of the draft, there were 4 straight wide receivers taken.
Let's move on to pick 4.
In kind of an odd order, too.
Indianapolis Colts picked Anthony Richardson, quarterback out of Florida. I love the fit.
A+.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to start right away. You can start Minshew. He gets to sit behind Minshew and play for Shane Steichen.
The offensive line is pretty decent.
The O-line is built well enough to
You can elevate it with later picks.
be elevated with
Yeah.
later picks. The Colts are still involved in this draft. They didn't have to move to make this pick.
Listen, you want a tight end? Michael Myers still available.
Michael Mayer is not in this first round, ladies
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Wide receiver, there are still options.
There are options. Rasheed Rice.
Running back, you have Jonathan Taylor.
Or if you're Chris Sims, Michael Wilson, the all-pro.
I don't think he had him as an all-pro.
Stupid.
We love this fit. I'm jealous this quarterback went here.
Oh, it's a hard A+.
Yeah.
Easy A+.
Great pick. Seattle Seahawks at pick 5 stayed, which is surprising with the amount we heard that they were going to move.
And of course, they took Jalen Carter. No, they didn't.
No, they took Devin Witherspoon.
Listen, I think it's an A to A-. The reason I have it at an A- and not higher has nothing to do with the player. Nothing. It has to do with the fact that the Seattle Seahawks had pick 5 and used it on a corner when they had
Tariq Woolen.
well, not even just the fact that they have Tariq Woolen, it's just that they have so many other more pressing needs.
It's very obvious Jalen Carter was off their board.
Yes, because defensive tackle was so much of a more valid need for them.
Yeah.
And he was sitting there at 5. And it's not like Jalen fell that much further. That's just the way it is.
And quarterback didn't go here. Very understandable.
By the way,
in my
did
opinion.
Seattle pick again?
Oh, yeah. We'll get to them.
I mean, there was a trade up that Philly made.
Yeah.
We don't know who was trying to make the move to 9 to make what the Eagles made happen. Maybe it was Seattle. Maybe it was.
But they take Devin Witherspoon. Great player. This is a B for me.
Yeah.
At pick 7.
He's only it would be a B for me if I didn't like the player as much as I like the player.
At pick 6, the Arizona Cardinals, after moving back, select Paris Johnson Jr. This is a trade up. Let's get that trade up for you guys.
Please do.
So the Detroit Lions traded their first round pick, which is number 6,
and a third, number 81,
to the Arizona Cardinals for their first rounder, number 12, their second rounder, number 34, and their fifth rounder, number 168.
You see that, Houston? That's a trade for value.
Yeah.
Take notes, Nick Caserio.
Now, why did Arizona have to do this? Because there's one thing their quarterback wanted.
Protection.
He specifically asked for it publicly for the player, and they took him, Paris Johnson Jr.
A- for me, because he's my second favorite O lineman, and my favorite O lineman was still on the board at this time.
But your favorite O lineman was a guard.
That I fuck all you people for discriminating against interior O linemen. I hate all of you. Anyway, my point is, yes, he was a tackle. I understand that. He's a pure tackle, but he can play guard because he did at Ohio State a year ago. Paris Johnson at 6.
It's a little high.
It's a little higher than I liked. However, I've been pounding the door on this. No O-lineman in the top 10 was getting mocked like crazy. That was never happening in my brain. O-line, the top O-line goes in the top 10. Has to, because you never don't need one. And there's nobody that needs one more than Arizona did. No one in the world. So, fine. Do it. I support this trade. You didn't give up too much to do it, and you got a potential bookend tackle for a decade if he hits.
Now at pick 7, the Las Vegas Raiders.
The Las Vegas Raiders selected
Tyree Wilson.
The player, remember, everybody thought he was going number 2 to Houston.
This is a guy that we had pick on what we would do, Mock.
Is that true?
Yeah.
There you go. Listen, I'm going to go B+ to A-.
This is a B+, not an A- for one reason. Tyree Wilson obviously fell to 7 because of his medicals, but also we heard that multiple teams passed him on his medicals. Right. So this is more of just, I think, people thought Will Anderson's a safer pick.
Right. And that's, I mean, you and I are both in agreement and on record as saying that's just true.
Yeah, Will Anderson is a favorite pick, yeah.
Tyree Wilson's ceiling is very high.
Yeah,
he's
very high,
big.
Yeah.
He's athletic. He didn't do a ton of working out, and he is going to need to heal up. This is a great situation for Tyree Wilson because he gets to jump into a D line that is so greatly depleted, but doesn't need to be the bell cow of the D line.
Yeah, you have Max Crosby on one side, and you can bring him in slowly in the initial weeks because Chandler Jones is still there.
I'm going to say something I haven't said about the Raiders management in 5 years.
Okay.
Good pick. Good pick. Now, who did I mock to you? I did not do. We forgot last night. I negligently forgot to do it. I think I would have been wrong because didn't I say Gonzo?
You said Chris Gonzalez.
Chris Gonzalez was the pick for the Raiders at 7. Would I still have done that over Tyree?
Oh,
perhaps,
I wouldn't have.
But maybe not.
I wouldn't.
I'm not as sold on it as before. I think probably because I thought Tyree was gone and I did not want you to go quarterback.
Yeah.
But I'll take the loss on this. I don't care. I was going to take losses on everybody this year. This is an insane year. It doesn't matter.
Now, let me be perfectly clear. Let me explain my emotions tonight.
The highest highs and the lowest lows were ever experienced in the world tonight by MT.
So at pick 2, CJ Stroud went.
Yep.
I was almost in tears.
It upset MT.
Oh, yeah.
It upset him greatly.
Because I waited for this quarterback for 2 years.
The 2-year dream died tonight.
Yeah.
But Hendon's still on the board.
Okay, we'll get to that. And then at pick 7, the only thing I didn't want to hear was what, John?
Will Levis.
Oh my God.
Ebteen was apoplectic about the concept of drafting Will Levis to Vegas.
In the
And
first round.
In the first round.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to do it tomorrow.
I
either.
don't want to do it tomorrow.
Will Levis did not get selected.
But
Vegas is losing it because that was not supposed to happen.
But let me be very clear. Will Levis in the second round doesn't make me want to kill myself. Will Levis in the first round makes me want to turn off football and never come back.
Tyree Wilson's a B+ to A-. There's a lot of raw. There's a lot of work that needs to be done.
But who's better at teaching than Chandler Jones and the defensive line coach? Like you have Max
I don't
Crosby.
know, just a better head coach.
Yeah, better.
That might have been better.
Yeah, but
but here's the other. I made a joke before when I said good pick being the first thing I said. There have been picks when you took Amik Robertson a couple of years ago. I thought it was a great pick, and it turned out to be about exactly right.
Yeah, he's okay. I think we hugged him when this pick was announced.
You did, you were very
just the appreciation.
You were very.
And
he was very drunk and very happy,
very scared that it was Will Levis.
So scared. I guys, you can't even imagine. This man was. When I say one more shot would have put him on the floor in the fetal position, I'm not necessarily kidding. I'm probably exaggerating, not by that much though. Anyway. We'll get to how I felt when we get to number 9, but because that was almost violent in my reaction. But
so in pick 8, the Atlanta Falcons decided to do the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, wait, one more thing
on
the Raiders.
Yeah.
The Las Vegas Raiders tonight did something that I thought the franchise was incapable of.
Oh, okay.
They made a pick that didn't blow my fucking mind with stupidity. Was it the pick that I necessarily would have made? Maybe not. I think in a perfect world, Raiders get the fuck out of here. In a perfect world, I think they should have probably moved back.
Oh, and
you've already got 12 picks. You got plenty of work to do.
By the way, we should talk about this now, actually. There was plenty of rumors that the Raiders were trying to trade up to the first round to the Dallas Cowboys.
It was like 25-ish.
No, I think it's 27, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. We can check right now. Let's check that just to be clear. The Cowboys are pick 26. Wow, we split the difference.
And they made a selection.
Yeah.
We'll discuss it.
And the other team trying to do that was the Kansas City Chiefs. So I would look out for quarterback.
Why do I think that would have been for a wideout?
Well, let's see. At that point,
the Big Four went.
Yeah.
Hyatt, maybe.
I think you can wait till the second round to get Hyatt.
You might not be able to. How far are you? Next pick, 40 what?
I'm pick 7, so what is that?
Oh, you're 38.
Yeah.
Huh.
You
may not have to wait. You may not have to wait. I expect Hyatt to go early tomorrow. Yeah. I do, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to pick 8.
So in pick 8, the Atlanta Falcons select Bijan Robinson, running back out of Texas.
The player is an A.
The pick is an F-.
No.
See, I can't say that anymore.
I can.
We saw what Detroit did.
Okay, fine. This is like a D.
Us.
The Atlanta Falcons had so many things that they could have done. They are not a team ready for anything. And they took a running back. I think you had 12 sacks last year or some shit. Like, what is wrong with you? Jalen Carter, again, still on the board. Lucas Van Ness, still on the board. Nolan Smith, I know I obviously was much higher on him than most. Still on the board. Let's take a running back.
Let's talk about Jalen Carter, because at pick 9, the Philadelphia Eagles moved up.
From pick 10 to 9.
Yeah, and selected Jalen Carter.
Yeah. Now show me the matrix real quick.
Sure. But let me show you. Do you have the trade memorized?
Yeah, we traded a 4 next year.
Now the matrix doesn't include future picks,
but it includes 4s.
Yeah.
So just show me a 4.
The difference between 9 and 10 was 50.
50 points.
Yeah.
Show me what a 4 generally looks like.
A 4 is over.
It's between like 40 and 80.
You paid nothing.
We paid nothing, and pick value is roughly identical.
Yeah.
S. S.
And as for Chicago, I understand why you made this trade. It doesn't hurt you.
S
Yeah.
tier. S.
The Eagles. Yeah, this is an S. This is a great pick. We thought the Eagles had to move 5 to make.
I was very prepared for the Eagles to have to go to 5 to do this. But once Seattle, I will tell you the way it started to feel for me. When Seattle took Devin, Epstein was already kind of losing it because of Stroud. But I looked at Epstein and I was like, maybe. And then 6 was Arizona came up and took Paris. And I'm like, wait, they came up and still didn't take. Oh my God. And then I saw the Raiders took Tyree Wilson. I'm like, oh, it's going to happen. Atlanta's too stupid. They're not going to do it. And then they took Bijan, and I was very happy. Wow.
Yeah.
How unfortunate. We just a friend of Epstein's and mine. They updated us on something unfortunate. Anyway, that's how close is that?
45 minutes.
That's not close.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I realize I'm getting very out of frame a lot, by the way, and that's just the way it's happening. I'm sorry.
So
this camera's just not ideal for this.
At pick 10, the Chicago Bears.
Jalen Carter is my messiah, only behind how I realize I'm interrupting pick 10, and I don't fucking care. We're going to talk about the Eagles again when we get to the end of this draft. Holy fucking shit, guys.
At pick 10, the Chicago Bears select Darnell Wright.
I'm mad about this pick.
Why?
Because it wasn't Peter Skoronski. I like Darnell Wright. Don't like him more than Peter Skoronski.
I want to grade this higher just for the fact that Chicago Bears netted an extra pick.
They did. They netted a 4. Netted a 4 and still got a top end tackle.
For nothing. They obviously weren't interested in taking Jalen.
Yeah, the Eagles weren't going to take Darnell Wright. It just wasn't happening. It was going to be Paris, maybe Skoronski. But once they moved up, at that point, I figured, okay, it moved up with Chicago. It's not going to be Skoronski. So, okay, then they moved down a pick to still take the guy they wanted.
Yeah, I like Darnell Wright too.
I do. I think the value, again, this is a situation with the players like an A to A-. Value is like a B-ish.
It's a little high, but I don't really care.
It's a tackle, I guess you have to include that as part of it.
I think Paris Johnson going earlier than expected forced this.
Agreed.
Yeah.
It pushed the whole O-line value up a little bit.
Let's talk about the Tennessee Titans, because at pick 11, where we were expecting a quarterback for the Titans, they selected Peter Skoronski.
Now, I'm going to be very clear. If they had taken Will Levis,
this would have been an F for
probably
me.
like a D or a C. I probably would have gone C because they would have gotten their quarterback, but not had to move. But Tennessee made a smart decision tonight. They decided to build the team first. Skoronski's the best interior O-lineman in the draft. He was the best O-lineman on the board. He was my O-line 1. Fuck yeah. A.
This doesn't prevent them from taking a Will Levis or Hendon Hooker in the second round.
No, they're still both on the board. Spoiler alert.
But it just... Do you not feel weird about Skoronski and the Titans? Does it not feel... It just doesn't
feel like a fit?
Yeah.
You know what it reminds me of?
What?
Remember Jack Conklin?
Yes, I do.
So the Titans took him. He had a really good first couple of years in Tennessee. And he went to Cleveland and flamed out.
Yeah.
And this is kind of feels the same way to me, except I don't see a flame out with Peter Skoronski. That's not, I don't smell flame with him. I smell like an incendiary fire is going to burn for a decade.
Now at pick 12, the Detroit Lions are our first losers of the night.
They traded down this via the Arizona deal.
Because they took Jahmyr Gibbs at 12.
Oh, dear God.
This is desperation.
This is one of the worst picks I've ever seen. Not only was it a running back, it was a first-round running back. You could have had it 30.
Mm-hmm.
And you took him at 12.
And not only that, you pick again in the first round.
Jahmyr Gibbs has come out and said he is literally shocked that the Lions took him.
Mm-hmm.
Same, Jahmyr, same. I think they were shocked to do it. I'm not convinced the Lions didn't typo the card. Like, this can't be right.
You had a later first round pick. And you go down the board.
And by the way, Detroit, you fucked that one up too. What are you doing?
You go down the board. None of them are taking running backs.
I trusted you, Detroit.
This is an extremely confusing pick. It
Worst of the night.
reeks of desperation.
Worst pick of the night. What's wrong with DeAndre Swift?
DeAndre Swift needs to be traded
Clearly.
now.
What's wrong with him?
And if I was a team and I had like an extra 7 Raiders,
This
I would try to get DeAndre Swift.
This is among one of the worst draft picks I've ever seen. This is Bruce Irvin to the Seattle Seahawks bad.
At least that worked out.
To it enough.
Yeah.
This is just so strange. What did you need a 5th round option on this running back for? What did you need that for? Just so bizarre. So bizarre. I can't even properly articulate what sense this could possibly make. It can't get there. Doesn't make any.
Let's move the Green Bay Packers. They broke our hearts. The Green Bay Packers, instead of selecting Dalton Kincaid,
Which everyone and their grandmother mocked to the Packers.
selected Lucas Van Ness, proving once and for all, it's not the quarterback that they're screwing over. It's the offense.
Now, this was a trade by way of the Aaron Rodgers trade. It was part of this trade. They went from 15 to 13 a couple days ago. And Van Ness is the ultimate project. He is big, strong, athletic, physically gifted, has the traits, has the God-givens. None of it's been honed.
And what was Rashawn Gary as a prospect?
Literally everything I just said.
I trust him.
They figured it out. Gary can play.
Yeah.
Gary can play. And I'll be honest, I don't want to get burned again, so I'm a little gun shy on this. I thought Gary was going to be a bust.
Mhm.
I'm wrong.
Now,
A minus.
Yeah, I liked Lucas Van Ness more than John.
Because of Rashawn Gary, A minus.
I liked Van Ness more than John.
A bit. I didn't dislike him.
Yeah.
I just didn't like him at 10.
13's about the range where I expect him to go, right? You would think like early teens.
I had him between 13 and like 20.
Yeah. So I don't hate it. Pittsburgh Steelers at pick 14.
It's a trade.
They traded with New England.
New England. A team that could have used the player that Pittsburgh traded up to get.
So let's talk about this trade. So New England traded pick 14 for the Steelers' first round pick, which was 17, and the 4th round pick, which was 120.
Hey,
a lot.
Hey, Houston. You know what we call that?
Value.
Trading for value.
Not a lot, in my opinion. Honestly, I'm a little surprised New England took that.
It's not a bad deal.
But with that pick, the Steelers protected the boy, and they
Protected the
selected
boy.
Broderick Jones out of Georgia.
If you go back to a year ago, our show, when they took Kenny Pickett, I said next year, Pittsburgh Steelers must select offensive line in the first round. Bang.
Also, they had to move up because who's at pick 15?
It was the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Who were going to try to protect the old boy.
Yeah. The old boy.
Hey,
Yeah.
A move.
Great pick.
A move for a B-plus player.
Yeah.
I'll take that, though. That's the type of player that you could see a few years from now turning into a player worth the trade, which is significant. It's almost reeks of like a better Marcus Davenport situation where you trade up to get a player you think could maybe be there a little later, but you got to do it.
Speaking of Marcus Davenport, the New York Jets.
Not a bad segue.
The New York Jets select Will McDonald in what continues to be a win for Ebteen.
Yeah, so Ebteen is one of the biggest winners of the night because a lot of Ebteen's guys went early,
Yeah.
evidenced by the next pick as well.
Yeah.
But Will McDonald,
It's a pass rush specialist.
it's a pass rush specialist. It's a good player. Elite bend.
You can't put him in for
15?
run defense.
15?
No, 15's too early.
15 stupid.
Yeah.
You've got so much talent to the board. Not to mention the guy that goes at 30. I don't know. Call me crazy. C.
It's a C in value. Obviously, I'm going to be higher on this because I actually really like it.
There's like a B minus, but it's a C in value.
And then at pick 17, the New England Patriots, after trading back, got Christian.
You skipped a
Gonzalez.
player.
Oh, yeah. That's
You literally skipped pick 16.
Well, they don't matter.
They do.
The
Washington Commanders.
In a continue victory for me, selected Emmanuel.
I was going to say, you're going to walk
Forbes.
away from your own fat dub.
Emmanuel Forbes.
Emmanuel Forbes is the second corner off the board.
This is
Who would have thought?
early.
He weighs 166 pounds.
This is so
What the fuck are you doing?
This is so early.
Gone are the days of Washington going BPA. Gone.
By the way, New England comes out the biggest winner out of this pick.
In this situation, in this crop of 5, where it's like kind of a weird lull spot, the Patriots select Christian Gonzalez.
That's the one you should have picked. First.
Yeah.
If you want to go by my board, don't skip the board.
Yeah, don't skip the top corner. I mean, we both had him as the top corner. I think I became more into Witherspoon.
Yeah.
But this is just a very sus situation for Washington. And New England reaps the benefits. Straight up. That's just the way it works. New England reaps the benefits.
And I feel like Gonzalez fits New England very well.
Oh, flawlessly.
Yeah.
Flawlessly. The demeanor is flawless for it.
At pick 18, the Detroit Lions continue making baffling decisions.
Baffling.
And they select Jack Campbell, linebacker. This is a second-round pick.
I want to be clear.
At best.
I like Jack Campbell.
At second round at best.
At 18?
This is ridiculous.
What year is it?
This is
The Detroit Lions are in 2002.
This is Gerard Davis again. They're trying to course correct for Gerard Davis.
I have now finally reached a verdict.
Uh-huh.
Dan Campbell for the last couple of years has been like, I hope everybody thinks I'm an idiot because then they don't think I'm a threat.
Yeah.
Now you're actually an idiot. If you have any imprint on this pick, either you're the idiot or your GM is. Somebody stupid.
Yeah.
Gibbs and Campbell, are you fucking kidding?
That's not the day.
We trusted you. You were going the right direction, and damn it, you did this?
Calm down, John.
The hell are you doing?
Calm down.
I'm so mad. Absolute F.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers select
Elijah Cansey.
This is a weird pick for me. I understand it a little bit with who you lost in free agency, but you still have Vita Vea. We know you did so much work at wide receiver, and the run started right after you.
Yeah.
This is a weird pick, in my opinion.
The dog has attacked my hand.
The dog has attacked your hand.
My hand is now wet.
Let's talk about
I
Seattle.
wasn't planning on it, but yet it has happened.
Seattle Seahawks at pick 20.
But I like Kalijah. I was distracted by dog.
Yeah.
I like Kalijah. I didn't love him at 19. Kalijah Cansey's one of those guys that I really want to do well. I really do. I want to see him do very well. But this is literally like the opposite. If you were to make an opposite of Vita Vea, it would be Kalijah. Like it's the antonym of Vita Vea is Kalijah Cansey. They could not be more different. It's astounding. Do you have anything to add, dog?
I think he's talking, yeah.
Make a point. He also likes Kalijah Cansey, and now my arm is wet. With the 20th pick, the Seattle Seahawks. This is an unhinged episode. Just deal.
Yeah.
With the 20th pick, with the 20th unhinged episode for an unhinged round. With the 20th pick, the Seattle Seahawks selected Jackson Smith-Njigba as the number one wide receiver in this draft. He was our number one a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
God, this dog. He fell down boards. Seattle had themselves an odd but secretly good night.
I don't know if it's secretly good.
It's
They
pretty
had
good.
an odd but adequate night.
They did fine. I'm not unhappy with what Seattle to put together.
They could have done Detroit.
There's no LJ Collier. There's no Jordan Brooks.
Detroit did both of those picks.
I'm baffled by what Detroit chose to do tonight.
JSN, honestly, I'm happy he's the first wide receiver
Me too.
off the board. I like the fit because you got, Tyler Lockett,
Yep, Lockett, Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. They've been missing a third wideout.
Now they got one, and they invested.
Let's move on to the Los Angeles
That's
Chargers.
like adding a true slot to a wide receiver room with no slot.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Quentin Johnston out of TCU wide
Remember
receiver.
up before I said there was a run on receivers? It's here.
By the way, this is the wide receiver I wanted the Chargers to take.
Quentin Johnston. When the Raiders fan wanted you to take this receiver, you shouldn't.
My opinion of Quentin Johnston's no. I don't think he can make contested catches.
His opinion is no.
I didn't have this guy as a first round wide receiver at all.
No.
To be fair, I didn't have really any wide receivers as a first round wide receiver
No.
at all. But I understand it's a run. You need a wide receiver. Keenan Allen's getting up there in age and injury. Keenan Allen's getting injured a lot recently.
Yeah.
So I understand it. You got to help Justin Herbert.
Anybody else know that Keenan Allen is 6'2"?
Yes.
I learned that yesterday.
No, today.
Blew my fucking mind.
You learned that today, actually.
No, it was last night during the show.
Oh, huh.
Blew my fucking mind. Keenan Allen, 6'2".
The Baltimore
Google
Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens did what we knew was going to happen.
Yeah, Zay fucking Flowers. They
Uh,
drafted a third one.
this is a C for me. You keep on trying.
I'll give you a B minus just because I don't hate the player as much as Epstein does.
Oh, I hate the player. It's Sky Moore. Can we stop pretending it's not?
It's
Sky
like
Moore?
diet Sky Moore.
Can we just can we? Who's deciding who's first round anymore? Because you're wrong.
Honestly, the fact that we'll dive deeper when we're done.
Yeah.
The fact that Will Levis didn't go in the first round proves it doesn't vindicate us or anything. I think it just proves that the system is broken. It proves that there's something blatantly wrong. There were 17 green room players tonight.
Mhm.
4 of them didn't go. And one of them was and hold on. And one of them was Keon White, who really shouldn't have been there anyway. But
I took the biggest W in the green room you've ever got.
Joey Porter, Brian Branch, Keon White, and fucking Will Levis. were the 4
I had
left
second
ones.
round grades on all of them but Joey.
Yeah, I thought we might have 3 on Keon. I don't know who had Keon that.
No,
high.
Keon White. We had Keon White as a late 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyways, no reason to be in that green room.
no, I can't imagine why Keon was there. It doesn't make any sense.
Okay, let's move on. Jordan Addison went to the Minnesota Vikings at pick 23. We just switch. If you just switch these, I think we switch these in our predictive mock.
Yeah, it would have been fine.
Unlucky.
Just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Baltimore had to make that move.
Yeah.
Addison's good to feast, though. Addison's in a good situation in Minnesota.
Yeah, I was higher on Addison than you were.
You were the point. I like what his fit now.
Yeah.
Like the Giants, according to reporting, the Giants' first round board was depleted to holy hell
Mhm.
by the time they were coming up to pick, which was at pick 25. So they had to move up to 24. We'll get to them in a second. But Jordan Addison was like the last straw for them,
The New York Giants at pick 24 took their last player in that first round.
according to Joe Schoen.
Yeah. Deontay Banks out of Maryland. He's a corner. And with that trade, let's get those details out for you. The trade was the New York Giants had to move up 1 spot to make sure it happened. And they traded a 5th round pick, which was number 160, and a 7th round pick, which was number 240.
Hey, Houston. You see that?
We both had Deontay Banks as a first round corner. We had Emmanuel Forbes going after him, which is a little surprising.
Yup.
But also, this is where we had Deontay Banks in this
Yeah, we
area.
mocked Addison to the Giants like a million times.
Yes. Which, to be fair, Giants probably should just
You wanted him.
you probably should just bit the bullet.
You should have gone up to like 22. Baltimore didn't need to take Zay Flowers. You could have traded with him.
Really didn't.
You could have traded with him and given him like Sterling Shepard or some shit.
Yeah, and
Who
then
cares?
they could have had Deontay Banks like we wanted them to.
Right. But I guess that doesn't make any sense.
At pick 25, the Buffalo Bills selected Dalton Kincaid. I love this pick.
This was part of the trade. This was the Giants trade, I think. Right?
No,
there's more to it.
Yeah.
Because Jacksonville traded this pick.
Oh yeah,
again.
yeah. So Jacksonville traded again. Let's get that first.
Jacksonville traded down with the Giants. They traded one. They let the Giants jump up 1 pick, but then Jacksonville traded it again, trading pick number 25
27,
for
4,
to get 27
and 130.
and pick 130. Once again, hey Houston, take the fucking hint.
So Jacksonville, by trading back 2 spots, netted a 4th, a 5th, and a 7th. Probably because the players they wanted weren't even on the board anymore.
By the way, good job.
yeah, great
Good
pick.
work, Balky. Not bad. Legitimately not bad.
Buffalo Bills selected Dalton Kincaid. Love this fit. Love this pick.
Kincaid's going to eat
Yeah.
big time. Dawson Knox, don't draft him in fantasy.
Oh no,
he's
he's
worth
done.
nothing.
Yeah,
He's
worth nothing.
done.
The Dallas Cowboys at pick 26 selected Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle out of Michigan.
Second round value.
This is the pick that both the Raiders and the Chiefs are trying to trade up for.
I like Mozzie more than Blayman. I'm not happy that he's a Cowboy.
Let's try to play around with this because this pick is whatever. Who do you think the Chiefs are trying to move up for?
With Dallas,
Yeah. Was it Anton?
it could have been Anton Harris, who goes at 27 to Jacksonville. It could have been a wide receiver, which has been alluded to.
But I feel like if it was a wide receiver, they would have just picked him at 31.
Maybe it's a different edge. There's 2 more edges that go. Maybe they
Yeah.
wanted Murphy.
And then who do you think the Raiders were trying to get back into the first round for?
Probably a quarterback.
Probably a
That's my
quarterback.
guess. Is
Yeah.
it's Levis or Hooker.
At pick 27, the Jacksonville Jaguars selected Anton Harrison. Everyone knew this was coming.
Yeah, after the Cam Robinson suspension last
Mhm.
night, that just kind of happened out of nowhere.
At pick 28, the Cincinnati Bengals selected Miles Murphy, edge rusher from Clemson. I don't like Miles Murphy.
I like him at 28. It's
fine.
worth the gamble at 28.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's just Miles Murphy hasn't really been Miles Murphy since 2020.
But he doesn't have to carry the flame. In Cincinnati, he's got Hubbard and Hendrickson. There's support. So, you know what would have been a really good pick here?
Who?
Jahmyr Gibbs.
At pick 29, the New Orleans Saints selected Brian Breesy, defensive tackle. We almost got this.
Was this a trade as well? No, it had been traded before.
So in our prediction mock, we had them getting Mozzie. The Cowboys
Ozzie Smith
jumped the gun. Instead they get Brian Breesy. So obviously
fine.
We like the positional pick.
Yeah, the positional made sense.
Yeah.
I think they probably wanted Mozzie.
Yeah.
Didn't we have him taking Kalijah at 29?
No,
we ended up switching that?
Yeah. At pick 30, the Philadelphia Eagles selected Nolan Smith.
Just let's make something very clear, everybody.
Yeah, you talk. I'm gonna
guys. How you all live in Howie Roseman's world. He allows you to exist within it. You are only here because he has deemed it acceptable. Once he has decided he's done with you, you will vanish from the face of this.
By the way, we found out today Howie tried to fleece Mike Mayock.
Yeah, we learned from Mike Mayock, who was discussing it online, that apparently a couple years back when he was still with the Raiders, Howie Roseman at the trade deadline tried to destroy their franchise and did so with not even a hesitation. Didn't even consider not doing it. Mayock had the guts to say no. I got to be honest. At this point, guys, if Howie Roseman calls you, stop answering. Don't do it because you will lose the deal. Now, Nolan Smith, listen, I think it's an A- player.
Mm-hmm.
This is obviously a very high tier value. Nolan Smith was mocked at times to being inside the top 15. As of last night, it was reported heavily that Nolan Smith was not going to find his way past Pittsburgh at like 17.
Yeah.
We got him at 30 and didn't have to pay anything to get him. So not only did the Eagles end up with Nolan Smith, but they also still got Jalen Carter and vice versa. They got Carter at 9 and Nolan still just fell into their lap. Nolan was projected to go 10. The Eagles had an opportunity tonight to be in significant peril, but they're not. It cost them a 4th overall pick to get both these players. Hell yeah. I'll take it. S tier trade, and that's your winner of the draft. That's Philadelphia Eagles. They win this draft. And I'm going to do this little bit of I'm going to do a little bit of a history lesson.
Oh, you're going to do this soliloquy?
A little bit of a history lesson. In 2021, Howie Roseman traded Carson Wentz to the Colts for a 2021 third-round pick and a conditional 1 in 2022. He also traded the 6th pick in the 21 draft to Miami to move back to 12. To move back to those spots, the Dolphins sent the Eagles their 2022 1. Roseman used the 3rd-round pick acquired from the Colts in the Carson Wentz trade to move up from 12 to 10 to draft Devontae Smith. The Dolphins' 2022 1 turned out to be pick 15. Howie traded that pick to move up 2 spots to draft Jordan Davis. The 1st-round pick acquired from the Colts in the 2022 draft ended up being 16th. Roseman packaged that pick, plus the Eagles pick 19 that year, to the New Orleans Saints for their 1 in 2022 and their 1 this year, which ended up being traded pick 9. I'll discuss that further. The 1st-round pick acquired that Howie Roseman then traded the Saints' 18th pick in 2022 to the Titans for A.J. Brown outright. That's a win. In 2023, Roseman trades the Saints' 2023 1, which was 10th overall, and a 2024 4 to the Bears to move up 1 spot to take Jalen Carter, considered by many to be the best defensive player in this draft. In other words, through a series of shrewd deals, Howie Roseman got off Carson Wentz's contract and acquired A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, and Jordan Davis, and just added Nolan Smith at 30 because.
Yeah, you know how I was eating? Howie Roseman eats.
He eats all of you. Howie Roseman potentially, and again, at this point, Eagle fans, if you're still against Howie Roseman or anything like that, you're stupid. At this point, I think it needs to be said, and I think even Abteen has said this a few times. This is the best general manager in professional sport at this moment. It is. He is the best general manager in the NFL, at least. He might be the best in the entire in the Big Four. He really might be. This man is a machine. Now, I'm not going to pretend like Nolan Smith wasn't just blind luck. It was. But luck is aided by being damn good.
Luck is aided by Andrew.
He damn good.
Let's talk about the Super Bowl champions, Kansas City Chiefs.
Fuck you. Took all that fun from me.
Dude, after all that buildup, I'm like, I got to bring this back
all
down.
the wind out of my sails. Like,
the Kansas City Chiefs selected Felix and Udike
Uzoma.
Cool. I mean, I had him as a second round edge. It's basically the second round.
Good pick.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to be there later.
Yeah, he wasn't.
Nice pick.
Let's look at round 2, because in the green room, we still have Joey Porter, Brian Branch, Will Levis. Is Hendon Hooker in the green room?
No.
Okay, good for him.
Smart.
Yeah.
He knew something.
Now, I want to talk about like possible fits. Pick 32, Pittsburgh. This is Joey to me.
It should be Joey Porter.
Yeah.
It very well could be. This could also be Branch. It isn't Levis.
It's Joey, though,
it's
right?
probably Joey.
Like at some point, Pittsburgh's kind of forced.
But I will also say Osiris Torrance
is available. Yeah.
Isn't a bad idea here either to double up at O-line. It's not a bad idea.
If you're looking at quarterback, Rams pick 36. I don't really see it.
No.
But it's possible. Seattle's there at pick 37. Hendon Hooker, Will Levis.
Yep.
The Raiders are right after at pick 38. The New Orleans Saints may think a second round pick, because at this point, Derek Carr's what, a 1 year, 2 year, maybe?
Probably.
Yeah. Tennessee Titans pick 41. I expect both quarterbacks to go early in day 2.
Both Hendon and
Will
Levis.
Yeah.
I do as well.
As for Brian Branch, any of the teams that we just said could all use Brian Branch. Like, I know I hated Brian Branch a lot in our.
You did.
Yeah. I just let me make this very clear. Brian Branch at no point was a first round safety in my eyes. At no point was a first round safety. Look what happened. Not a first round safety.
Not a first round safety. No safeties in the first round.
Oh yeah.
But 2 running backs.
And a linebacker.
Detroit, what are you doing?
Brian Branch in the second round is a great pick.
Good value.
Yeah.
See how weird the draft can be.
Yeah. You know what's who does the Seattle Seahawks have at safety? No one, right?
Quandre Diggs.
Okay, so he needs
That's good. He needs a running back.
Yeah, he needs a running back.
Diggs is good though.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Houston Texans, D'Amico Ryans will always look for defensive help.
He should.
And he would know what to do with Brian Branch. And that's one of the biggest problems with Brian Branch. Versatility.
Not knowing what position he plays.
Yeah. Any other player you want to see go in day?
Cyrus fucking Torrance.
What are give me some of your like players you're excited for that will go in day 2.
So DJ. DJ from Michigan.
I love DJ. Zach Charbonnet.
Maybe.
I mean, if 2 running backs are going in the first, Charbonnet needs to go in day 2.
Yeah, we turn back the clock tonight.
Yeah.
Jalen
Hyatt.
Jalen Hyatt. It's not likely, but Sidney Brown could slip into the 3rd.
Oh, I think he's happening.
You think so?
I think the Illinois kids are going in the 3rd.
I don't know if both of them are. Sidney might. I don't know about the other one. I could see. I would like to see where Hooker ends up.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle at 37 makes a little bit of sense to me, but we'll see if they go that route.
To be by the way, Pete Carroll, with his draft clues, what they picked?
I don't know.
They picked Devin Witherspoon, and they picked what? Who was the wide receiver they picked? JSN. No,
I don't know what you're doing.
Those clues were bullshit.
I'm at a loss. I have no ties.
For those who don't know, the clues were the song. What was the song called?
It was Lithium by Nirvana.
which came out in 1991, Hendon Hooker's birth year.
Yep.
Which that version include the lyrics of like will, like it said the word will a lot of times. It included a teaser for Love Is Blind that came out on the same day that Will Levis took a picture with the Seattle Seahawks.
Yep.
So it's probably happening, right? At pick 37.
Who knows?
Who knows?
I guess nobody realized. I guess it didn't have to mean that it doesn't mean it's going to be both of them. We're going to take both of them.
No, they're gonna take Levis. We'll take.
I don't know. They got picked 37 and 52.
They'll move up again.
Another one, obviously, I want to see go is Cody Mauch.
I want to see Cody Mauch.
I want to see Cody Mauch go, and I want to see him go to Philly.
I want to see Jordan Battle in the third round just because I
That's
love
nice.
Jordan Battle.
Yeah, Cody Mauch. I'm very excited to see. Remember Quinn Miners, the Bronco? I love Quinn Miners. He didn't pan like I thought he might, but that was one of my guys. I was like, I need that to happen. And granted, so was Dalton Risner, and no, but that's called a miss. So was Forrest Lamp, but that's also called a miss. But
Yeah, I can't believe Forrest Lamp missed so hard.
he missed hard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited. This was such a great first round. Easy winner, Philly and probably Houston. I know it's a bad trade,
yeah.
but probably the easy winner at this moment, Philly and Houston. That Philly is such a rich get richer situation. It's ridiculous. When you make draft picks so good that Micah Parsons walks off the set during the Bleacher Report show, he did that. He walked off the set complaining he was sick to his stomach. AJ Brown was on that show. And hey, y'all, go look at AJ Brown's Twitter banner picture right now. He's extending a tissue box to Micah Parsons. Yeah. Be mad, Micah.
You think Micah Parsons stays a Cowboy?
Fuck no.
Do
Not now.
you think Justin Herbert stays a Charger?
Come to Philly, Micah. you got your boy Nolan's here now. Come have some fun. We'll have money at that point. More of it. Plenty of it. Come play with us.
That was the first round.
That's first round.
Next time you hear from us, it'll be after the draft.
Completely after the draft.
Yeah.
We will be sober.
Do we have to be?
We don't have to be. We probably will be. And
Hey, at this point, you took some of the shots you needed to for the predictions.
I did. And I shouldn't have. Because I'm now in pain and it's not fun. I really suggest nobody watch this one on YouTube.
Why?
Because I'm so out of frame most of the show. Like I did some of the show like this.
You have to get in frame, John. There you go. Look at this angle. This is going to be like the thumbnail.
It shouldn't be.
with the dog popping up.
Yeah, this was a trip of a round. This is one of the best first rounds we've watched ever.
Oh, so much happened tonight.
So much happened.
In and outside the first
Both
round.
involving and not involving the draft.
Thank you for listening. Thank you, Chris Stetter.
We will bring you the end of the draft, I don't know, next week.
Yeah. Good night.